Welcome to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Leavitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. You can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200. Or if you have any other questions, go and leave us an open mic using the WDBO app. You can also check out their website at refreshcomputers.net or go ahead and stop in at the Refresh Computer Superstore in Longwood at 820 East State Road 434, just 3.5 miles east of I-4 in Longwood. Store hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you're listening to the show here on Saturday, it means you still have time to stop by. They'll be open until 7 p.m. And now, back to David and Adam.
All right. Thank you, Greg, and thanks, everybody, for listening to this edition of Tech Talk with Refresh Computers. We have a really good show today, especially if you're a business owner.
Yes.
We want you to listen up, and because we have some advice and some things that we're going to be talking about on how you can be a better business by using technology that at your disposal. Right?
Yeah, keep yourself just kind of safe overall, you know? It's a scary world out there. There's a lot of people that really want to get into computers, and we always talk on the show about personally in your own home there's scams and everything, but businesses have to deal with this too. They're not exempt from it.
Oh, probably even more so, Adam, I think. Yeah. So, and if you have a business and you have not upgraded your computers to Windows 11 yet, give us a call at our free tech support hotline, because we want to go over with you what computers you have in your business, what models, what versions of CPUs you're running on those machines, and we can guide you on whether or not your current machines can upgrade to Windows 11, or if you need to replace your current machines. That free tech support hotline is 407-478-8200. And just in case you haven't heard by now, the whole reason I bring that point up is because Windows 10 is expiring this October, and you need to be able to have a machine that's going to get all of Microsoft's security updates, right, Adam?
Exactly, yes. Having a machine that's able to get all those updates is the most critical thing when running a business, because, like I said before, businesses have large targets on them sometimes. And people that want to take advantage of that will look for any way possible to take advantage.
Yeah, especially if you're a business that has customer data,
yes,
for example. You know, you're a bigger target. You know, I'm talking about, attorneys' offices, dentists, doctors. I mean, most businesses, I guess. You know, it could be any business. You probably have a database that has a lot of your customers' information on it. Used car deal. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on.
Any business that does transactions with customers have information that somebody could use, and that's why even if you're just a small business, it's good to keep yourself safe, because you don't know who's looking at you. You know. Oh,
and there are people out looking for ways to take advantage and get into your systems, right? Yeah. And steal your data and put some lock on files. Sometimes we get customers that come in the store, unfortunately, all the time where this is happening to them. So it's real. So you have to make sure that you stay protected, and we're going to talk about some ways to do that.
Yeah, one of them being the 3-2-1 rule. That's the easiest one to remember. Keeping 3 copies of your business data. Doesn't matter how you copy it, whether it's on an external hard drive, for an example, a little USB drive. You want to keep 3 copies of that data on 2 separate types of media. So that could be, like I said, an external drive, a USB drive. I wouldn't want to say CDs anymore. They don't really have the capacity for a lot of this information, but that's another media type. And then you want one stored off-site. And that could be something that's just stored away from the business, could be something up in the cloud, for example.
Could be like OneDrive or Google Drive, something like that.
Yeah. And that goes on to the next thing, is having a cloud solution is the easiest way to keep yourself from losing information.
And it's so easy to integrate all of your files that are on your local computer or server, if you have a server. Yeah. It's so easy to integrate that into one of these cloud solutions like OneDrive or Google Drive. It doesn't make sense to me why anybody wouldn't do it, because as you save files on your computer or in your server, they're automatically saved up in the cloud as well.
That's the biggest thing, that real-time backup aspect of it. So many people think about, like you mentioned, CDs or floppy disks or that USB drive that you have to plug in and select files and manually do these things. automatically with OneDrive and Google Drive.
It just does it. But then again, let's talk about why, talk about the 3-2-1 rule. One of the rules was having that external storage as well. And the reason behind having to do that, even though you are backing up to the cloud with every file that you save, as long as you're connected to the internet.
Exactly.
So what happens when you're not connected to the internet, Adam?
You're kind of stuck if you don't have that local backup.
Right.
And that's what really helps, is having a physical backup like an external drive that you can plug in for an emergency where you don't have internet access, you need a file, you need something. You have that local backup.
So let's talk a little bit about BitLocker.
Yes.
A lot of people have heard about BitLocker. I want you to explain to the folks, what BitLocker does, why it's important to have something like that, especially if you have a business, just to make sure that, and also why it's important that, somebody has the key to the BitLocker.
Yes, exactly. So Microsoft BitLocker, it is a very heavy file encryption.
And does that come with Windows?
It comes with Windows 11 Pro, but it doesn't come with Home. That's the main difference. You get regular data encryption on Home, but it's not nearly as sophisticated as BitLocker encryption.
So is BitLocker automatically set up on Windows 11 Pro, or do people have to set it up?
So recently, Windows has been activating it by default, and I've actually seen that cause a couple scenarios of people getting locked out of their files, because when this encryption is enabled by default, that you don't get any pop-up saying, hey, click this to enable it. It's just enabled by default. If you don't set up a Microsoft account with your computer when you're going through those setup steps, you don't actually have an account that can recover your BitLocker access key.
Oh, that's a good point you bring up, because if you don't have a Microsoft account and you're running Windows, get a Microsoft account.
Yeah, they're free.
Anyway, it's free, and it's going to make your life a lot easier. You may not like Microsoft, you may not like Windows, but you're stuck with it, you're using it. But it's important to have that Microsoft account. And this is one reason, because of BitLocker. Because if you don't have the BitLocker key, and you need to get into some files, well, you're stuck.
Yeah, and that's
and nobody can get that, right?
This is encrypted this is going to get a little technical, but 256-bit encryption, which basically means that
it's one of the best.
It's one of the best in the industry as far as what you can access just through Windows, and it is impossible to get around that encryption for the data. If you don't have an account linked, if you don't have a way to have a recovery key, and you get locked out of your drive because BitLocker trips to protect the files, it's going to do exactly what it's meant to do, protect your files, even from you at that point.
So it encrypts the files on your computer.
Yeah.
And so what does that mean? It encrypts your files. It makes them where nobody else can read them but you, right?
Yeah.
So even if somebody did get access to your computer, they're not able to read your files.
No, every day using your computer with BitLocker enabled, the computer knows that it's safe and it's secure, that it's using its own data. But if you take that drive out of your computer, somebody steals the drive out of that computer and tries to plug it into something else, BitLocker immediately trips and says, something has changed, just lock everything.
Oh, nice.
And from there, it prompts you for that key, which again, if you don't have that key, the data's gone. Could be a good thing if it was stolen, could be a very bad thing if you're stuck without a Microsoft account.
So we see this when we're doing data transfers for customers. So like if you bring in your old computer, we'll be able to take the data off of that drive and do a clone onto the computer you buy from Refresh Computers, right? And so we need that BitLocker key. So we're going to have to get into that account to be able to do that data transfer. Is that right?
And there have been some unfortunate scenarios I've personally dealt with where a computer has come in that no longer boots up. We can't log into it and easily just deactivate the BitLocker and have to go through the entire process of helping get logged into the Microsoft account, looking for the device. Maybe it's the wrong Microsoft account we've logged into. It kind of creates just a rolling effect of having to go down this line until you find the key for those files. It's a long process, but in the end of the day, it does protect your information.
Yeah. So it's important. So if you're not sure if your BitLocker is activated, right?
Or if you have a Microsoft account bound to the computer,
you can call us. We can help you. 407-478-8200. We can kind of just go over that with you on the phone, right? Just take a few minutes.
Yeah, it takes a few minutes. It's very simple to guide you
free
to
phone
that
call.
area.
Yeah. So we love helping people out in that way. So if you whether you're a business or not, but most businesses will have Windows 11 Pro.
Yes. Yes.
And so that's what we're referring to with BitLocker. You have to have the Pro version to be using BitLocker, because it comes with the Pro version, but does not come with the home version. Yeah. So that's really cool. So some other things, Adam, that we want to talk about to make sure that businesses are protected is if you have employees, you might want to have a phishing class or some kind of program in place to make sure your employees understand what to do, what not to do with emails and stuff like that.
And that's the major thing I've seen in the business realm lately is there's a lot of phishing attempts where basically somebody will mass send this entire email to all of the employees of a company saying, hey, this is the company's IT. We need you to provide us your login credentials through this email. And there are actually a lot of people that just see, oh, this is IT. Let me just give them my stuff. When in reality, it came from some made-up email just through Gmail, for example, because you can make just free emails through that. Yeah. Or it could be somebody that's trying to pretend to be part of the company. There's so many things that can do that, and it's just kind of knowing what to look for is the most important part with those kind of emails.
So if you have more than a few employees, you might want to designate one of those employees as the person to make sure that everybody else understands what's going on.
Exactly.
As far as, data protection and all that stuff in your business.
Nothing is worse than one of your employees' credentials being leaked or being accessed and somebody having full access what that employee can get into. So if you had somebody that has an admin access, for example, and their credentials get acquired by somebody else, there's so much damage that can be caused by that. Or worse, they can just offload all of the information that employee can acquire and just leave without even making a sound. So you don't even know that you got robbed of information at that point.
Oh, man. So it could happen from ex-employees.
Yeah.
Very easily.
Very easily, yeah. If somebody's got a vendetta or just somebody's got it out, it could just be simple as that.
Well, this is another place where Refresh Computers comes in handy for folks. You can give us a call, right? And we have a program. We're going to talk about the program a little later. We have a program that'll help alleviate a lot of your worrying and headaches. and it's a very affordable program that we have a monthly fee for businesses. It's called the Refresh Managed IT Services. And so we'll be talking about that in a few minutes. But before we get into that, let's talk about some physical things you can do, like your battery backups, for example. This is especially this time of year. So it's critical to have not just surge protection, but battery backups. And
yes.
And I think what most people may not know, or some people may not know, I don't know how many people know this or don't know this, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that a UPS battery backup system is also a surge protector.
It is, yes.
And so and a lot of them, like the ones we sell at Refresh Computers, the APC branded ones, you have one bank on one side that is just surge protection only, and you have a bank on the other side that is surge protection plus battery backup. Yeah. So that's important to know. Also, if you're buying a battery backup and you've never used one before, not all those places that you plug into actually are battery backup. They're all surge protectors.
Exactly. And that's a good point too, because with having your computer on a surge protector, if there's a lightning strike that, zaps the surge protector catches it, it protects your machine. But the one part that's missed is with Windows, it actually has a way of shutting down called it's graceful shutdown, where it has to go in that process to safely shut down. If the computer just instantly turns off, like the surge protector trips, that can actually cause data corruption.
Oh, yeah, it could. And Windows corruption. It depends. Sometimes your computer's in the middle of an update, or it's getting drivers updated or something like that.
Or worse, it could be a BIOS update. That's something that will turn it into a glorified boat anchor at that point.
Yeah.
And especially if Windows is doing those updates and not letting you know that they're happening.
That's right. Like we talked about last week was happening. So that's an important thing to bring up too. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah. And it's also just kind of important sometimes to just have some spare hardware. If you've got a system that's not connected to any power, to nothing, but just sitting somewhere in case one of your systems go down, you can easily just kind of switch that out so you don't have any interruption of workflow. Oh. You don't have to rush out to Refresh Computers, for example, because your one inventory computer is down and the whole business comes to a screeching halt trying to get that recovered.
Yeah, we have doctors' offices that we deal with that have that spare computer.
Yeah. And it's come in clutch for them a lot of times.
Yeah, and it's easy just to transfer everything over real quick. Yeah. They're back up in business within minutes.
As we continue our talk on this, we'll be talking about that Refresh Managed IT program here coming up after the break. You've been listening to Tech Talk right here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Hey there, and welcome back to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Leavitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. You can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200, or go ahead and leave any questions or comments in the open mic using the WDBO app. And now, back to David and Adam as we're going to talk a little Refreshed Managed IT. Excited to learn about this program. I don't think we've talked about this one just yet.
No, yeah, it was been a long time since we actually brought it up. It's been a while, and because maybe a lot of people don't know that Refresh Computers is more than your go-to place for buying your computers and doing your upgrades and repairs and of all kinds. Laptops, desktops. But we also have a very robust managed IT service. And so what is managed IT? Let's identify that and define that, Adam.
The main thing with managed IT is you can kind of think of Refresh Computers as your business IT. As most businesses will have a centralized just IT person that runs everything.
Bigger businesses. If you're a business that has 40 or 50 employees or 100, you probably have an IT guy that's there that's helping you out. But if you're not, if you're
smaller, if you're a smaller business, sometimes you don't have the luxury to have somebody onboarded specifically for that. You can kind of have Refresh Computers take over the stress of that.
Where you're on-call IT guy.
Exactly.
That's exactly what we are.
Yeah.
So that's what managed IT does, but it does a lot more.
It does. So with our managed IT, the biggest thing that me personally, I look at is we include endpoint detection and response partnership with Malwarebytes.
Well, that's important because, I did a whole show one time, probably 2 years ago, maybe before you were helping me, Adam, and on endpoint detection and endpoint protection and what that means. So what are endpoints?
Endpoints can be anything where your network might be vulnerable. It could be a computer. It could be a camera. It could be a smart fridge I've seen before. It could be any intrusion point into your network. It doesn't have to be just a computer.
Because the hackers have written code to get into your system through those devices.
Yes.
And so you need to protect those devices, and something with Refresh Computers Managed IT Services, that's included, that endpoint detection, and that's in partnership with Malwarebytes.
Exactly, yeah. So with our Managed IT, we do also offer backup solutions, both for cloud and local backups. And it varies on price based on how much information or what kind of systems, how many systems you're trying to back up. But the main thing there is, again, backups. Those are what we were just saying, the biggest thing that companies should have right now, because you never know what'll happen to your computer. There could be the worst hurricane to sweep through and all of the systems in your building get damaged. If you don't have any backups, it's really difficult to start from scratch, especially some businesses that I've had personally come in that have had 30 plus years of client information saved on this one laptop that's been on life support for 15 years, and they're panicking because all the data might be gone. Can just alleviate that by just having a backup. And that's where kind of Refresh can take the stances. We manage those backups for you.
Oh, yeah, and that's just peace of mind. It provides peace of mind. And if you want to know more about Refresh Computers Managed IT Services, you can go, guess where? refreshcomputers.net, right to the website there. And under Business Services, you'll see Managed IT. So if you click on that, you will see all the things that we're talking about right now and what we do and how we help protect your computer. And, and we're not bashful about the pricing. It's right there on the website, right there for you to look at. And so you can know how much it costs. It's usually a per computer or per server basis. And it's very, very reasonable rates. We just signed a customer yesterday with 15 computers in their office. And they were using a company that they felt was lacking in response, and so they got rid of that company. And guess what? They were charging over twice as much as what we charge at Refresh Computers, and they get more with our services.
And I'm sure if you look at some of these these companies, they're going to be more of an outside group. It's not going to be somebody that's local to your local area. So if you're a local business in the Orlando area, you're getting local contacts, people that can be with you in that same day. You have a same-day turnaround on some of these responses.
Yeah. From a business that's been around for 25 years.
Yeah.
And if you've got any other questions about the Refresh Managed IT, make sure to give a call over at 407-478-8200. You've been listening to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Hey there, welcome to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Leavitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. You can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200, or go ahead and leave an open mic using the WDBO app with any of your comments or questions. You can also check out their website over at refreshcomputers.net, or stop in at the Refresh Computer Superstore in Longwood at 820 East State Road 434, just 3.5 miles east of I-4 in Longwood. Store hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and if you're listening to the show here on Saturday, it means you still have time to stop by. They'll be open until 7 p.m. And now, back to David and Adam.
All right. Thanks, Greg, and thanks, everybody, for listening to Tech Talk with Refresh Computers. In the previous segment, we talked about how businesses can be safer in their computing world and what they do with their data and how to protect it and all kinds of things like Refresh Computers managed IT services that we have offered to businesses. And you can go to the website at refreshcomputers.net, and you can click on the business services right up there and click on managed IT, and you'll get right to where you need to go. And there's even a form you can fill out. All the pricing's right there and everything. So everything's wide open for you to check out. So at refreshcomputers.net. Of course, you can call us at our free tech support hotline also at 407-478-8200. You can talk to Adam or Casper or one of the guys there, or Evan even, and they'll be glad to help you with your managed IT services questions and why Refresh Computers can help you at a very affordable rate too. Yes. I have to say, we have the best rates around with the best service. So you put those two together, that's what Refresh Computers has been about for 25 years.
Exactly.
So, and speaking about those best deals, we have some right now we're going to go over. But before I do, I want to also mention that the show is recorded in its entirety, commercial-free, in a podcast version that you can listen to if you missed anything, or if you want to recap what we talk about. You can go to refreshcomputers.net website, click on that podcast link, and you'll be able to hear this show in its entirety without commercials, and also several shows going back about 3 years now that we've been doing the podcast version, and it's become a fairly popular podcast as well. So pretty proud of that. So here are some deals going on at Refresh Computers. If you go to the website and you look at all the products we have for sale, there's literally hundreds of different computers and laptops out there that we have. But these are just a few that we handpicked, right, to talk about. And I'm going to let Adam go over some of these deals for you right now.
Yeah. So first one that we have, and this is going to be a Lenovo ThinkPad X13. This is a 13-inch laptop, comes in a nice little package. It's got an i5 processor in it, 10th generation, so not that old of a system. Comes with a brand new 256 gigabyte solid-state drive, and that's one of the major parts that goes into all of our refurbished computers, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we really refurbish computers and laptops. So it's not like they're dusted off and, you see some of these things online and you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
For especially like with our laptops, refurbished laptops from Refresh Computers, the battery's going to be good.
The drive's going to be good. It's not going to kick out in a week.
So, yeah. And, with our 90-day warranty that comes with all of these, typically if there's going to be something going on, it's going to be within the first few weeks anyway. But that's a rare thing. But if it does happen, we're right there.
Exactly. We've got a brick and mortar location that you can come to. You don't have to message somebody online and hope there's somebody on the other end.
That's right.
Yep. So this Lenovo ThinkPad comes with Windows 11 Pro. That's going to be the professional version that we were talking about earlier that can manage things like BitLocker encryption. And we've got that for $299.99 right now. That is a super deal for a laptop.
That's over a $600 laptop from
Easily.
Lenovo. And the ThinkPad is Lenovo's business class. You know, there's only 3 computer companies that make business class laptops, and that's HP, Dell, and Lenovo.
Yep.
There's no other brand out there making a business class laptop.
Yeah, and Dell, HP, and Lenovo, they've been the big names and as long as I can remember. I'm 27 years old, and I've known those names as long as I have memory. So we also have the Dell Latitude 5400. This is a nice 14-inch laptop, so a little bit larger than that Lenovo ThinkPad. Has an i7 processor with 16 gig of RAM with a 256 gigabyte solid-state drive, a new one with Windows 11 Pro. That one comes in at just $319.99.
This is super popular laptop.
Yes, it is. This is one of our best sellers that we have right now. Almost being beat out by the 5500.
Right.
They're neck and neck right now.
So yeah, you 14-inch or 15.6 inch.
Exactly.
So the Latitude 54. The model number in a Dell computer is the second digit is typically plus 10, the screen size. So 5400, so the 4 plus 10, 14-inch. 5500, so the 5 plus 10, 15. It's actually technically 15.6 inches. But there's also the 5500, which is the big daddy of the of the 5400.
Exactly. Yeah. We also have, and this is one of my personal favorites that we have right now, we have the Dell Latitude 3520. So like Dave was saying, that 5 in there means it's a 15-inch laptop. This one comes with a 11th generation i5 processor, 16 gig of RAM, and a 256 gigabyte solid-state drive. We got that for $499.99
That's
right
a $1,000 laptop.
Easily
for
$1,000.
$500. And keep in mind too, these laptops will take upgrades if you need them, and we can do the upgrades right there in the store.
Yeah.
So if you want more RAM, we can put this one up to 32 gig of RAM if you want it or need it. Most people don't need 32 gig of RAM.
Maybe you want 2 terabytes of data. We could upgrade that as well right there on the spot. It takes only about 10 or 15 minutes, I'd say, just to get that upgraded.
And it's important to point out too that all of our upgrades of solid state drives are also brand new drives.
Yes.
So
we're not throwing just some rinky-dink drive in there.
So refurbished computers, but brand new drives in them. So no matter whether you upgrade to a larger solid state drive that we have available right there in the store while you wait, by the way. It's a brand new one, that's coming that we can put in there for you. And of course, we'll be removing the brand new smaller drive. Actually, some laptops can take 2.
Yeah, I've seen some laptops that can take 2, 3. One laptop I recently just got myself can take up to 4.
HP, the Fury.
Yeah, the Furies, those can take a lot of drives, and they can support a lot of RAM too.
And we do have some HP Furies in stock right now. And you know who loves the Furies? Architects.
Architects, yes.
Architects, because they typically come with a video card that will help them do rendering of their drawings and all the
any kind of CAD work, CAD. 3D modeling, anything like that. And I got myself Dell's equivalent, the Dell Precision.
Oh yeah,
and that's the same thing. It's got a graphics card, good for 3D modeling. So those kind of laptops, we have those as well.
That's right. Go to the website refreshcomputers.net. Type in the word Fury, Fury. That's all you got to do. Type it in the search window, and it'll show you all the Furies that we have in stock right now, or Precision.
Yeah,
you can see the Precisions.
So we also have a good 2-in-1 touchscreen laptop right now. This is the HP EliteBook X360. So what does X360 mean, Dave?
Well, it means it flips around 360 degrees. So the screen will flip all the way over, and you use it just like a tablet.
Yeah.
And what's really cool, because people are concerned sometimes because the keyboard stays attached on these X360s. So when they flip it all the way around, it disconnects the keyboard.
Yeah, the keyboard entirely shuts off, the touchpad too. So you're in full tablet mode.
But not the touch screen. The touch screen is there. So a lot of people are concerned. I've just heard, people come into the store. Well, yeah, but I'm afraid when I flip this thing all the way over to use it like a tablet, I accidentally touch the buttons. Well, it doesn't matter because it disables the whole keypad.
Exactly.
So it's only a tablet. That's why they call them 2-in-1. So because it's a laptop with the keyboard, or flip that thing all the way around 360 degrees. You have a nice tablet. And these X360s, they're not only great little laptops, they're, the business class laptops from HP. They look great. They're sexy. They're just very.
They've got a nice
looking.
They've got a brushed aluminum body. It's nice and shiny. It doesn't have the paint issues that we had spoken. I think a couple shows ago with Dell.
Some of the Dell silver ones.
So these ones are an absolute great laptop with an i7 11th generation processor, that 16 gig of RAM with the 256 gigabyte solid state drive, Windows 11 Pro for $629.99, and this easily $1,400 laptop.
This is a $1,400 laptop every day, and it's so we have them for $629.99. So we got a good deal on them.
Yeah.
When we got them in, we go through the whole refurbishing process with them, and you're getting a good deal when you buy one from Refresh Computers.
So maybe you're looking for a new desktop for home. You just got to have something for the family, or just something that you personally just need to do some email work on, maybe some banking, shopping, anything like that. We've got a perfect machine. It's the HP EliteDesk 800 G5. This is one of those small form factor machines that we talk about all the time on this show. I think, what are the dimensions? About 14 by 14 by...
It's closer to 13 inches, I think.
13?
By 13 by 13 by maybe 3.5 inches thick.
So these things are really tiny. You can set them just kind of underneath your desk, or even on top of your desk. They can lay horizontally, or
they lay horizontally. Vertically. You can put your monitor right on top of them.
We've got these for $249.99 right now, and that's a super deal for this system.
And all these have Windows 11 Pro.
Yes.
So 16 gig of RAM, brand new 256 gig solid state drive. And isn't this one the one that has like all the ports in the back?
Yes, I believe it has. I believe it has a DisplayPort, HDMI, and VGA, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah.
So this is one that you can purchase, and you don't have to worry about having an adapter cable.
Just keep using the monitor that you have, no matter what the connection is.
Exactly.
This might be the computer that will do that for you.
So we've got kind of the I don't want to say brother, but cousin of that HP EliteDesk. We've got the Dell Optiplex. So these systems, these are ones that are found in ATMs, for example. They're running all day. This is the Optiplex 3070. Comes with an i5 processor, 16 gig of RAM, and a 256 gigabyte solid-state drive. Again, Windows 11 Pro, like all of the systems we're talking about today, for $269.99.
This is great for a business.
It is,
So we talked about businesses in the first segment and some of the things that you can do to help protect your business with your technology, and the fact that a lot of businesses are going to be pretty much forced to upgrade their computers by October, when Windows 10 expires. If you have a computer or computers in your business, we have one business that's procuring 50 of these, 50 of these machines, and we have them in stock to do that because they have to upgrade. They don't have a choice.
It's necessary to have hardware that you can trust is going to last you. And these machines are good for 6 to 8 years, if not more.
Right.
And, as far as the Windows updates go, Windows 10, like Dave was saying, is going to be out at the end of this year in October. Windows 11, that's just up in the air. Or Windows 12, sorry. Nobody knows where Windows 12 is going to come from.
We did a whole show on that. We don't even know if there's going to be a Windows 12. But still, these computers, like you said, are good 6 to 8 year computers. Every one we're mentioning, by the way, are good for the next 6 to 8 years.
So we also have a nice all-in-one system. This is a Dave used the term for a laptop. I'll use it for this all-in-one. We have a nice, sexy all-in-one computer. It's a Lenovo Idea Center 3. It's a touchscreen all-in-one too. So this one, it's got an i5 10th generation processor in it, and this actually comes with a wireless keyboard and mouse.
Comes with the genuine Lenovo wireless keyboard and mouse.
Yeah. So it comes, I believe, the adapter we keep with the system, so everything's paired together.
Yep.
You get everything hooked up at home, put in the batteries, turn on that keyboard and mouse. You're just good to go. That's it.
It's an awesome all-in-one computer, especially if you need to save space. This is a good machine. So if you have a tight space to put your computer in your house or your business, this doesn't take up much room at all. It's basically a monitor that's your computer. So you don't have a box sitting anywhere. It's all built in.
And we've got that coming for $399.99. Again, that's a super deal for an all-in-one computer with the keyboard and mouse bundled into it. But maybe you're looking for something that can do a little bit of heavy pushing. Maybe you've got some 3D work or blueprint work that you're needing to do. We've got a nice Dell Precision T3630 tower. So this system, this is pretty much Dell's coup de grace of their towers.
This is like the premium business class.
This is the premium business class.
Super upgraded power supply.
The better
big,
motherboard.
Beefy,
and
everything.
The big thing with this one is it comes with a NVIDIA 1060 graphics card.
6 gig of video, which is great. And this card will hold up to 4 monitors.
Yeah, 4 monitors. Plus, I think the system can hold an extra 2.
At
so
least
you're looking at 6 altogether.
If you wanted to.
Yeah.
And if you only have one, and the reason you brought up with, I think, with rendering and stuff like that, because if you had one monitor hooked up to this video card, it's pretty beefy.
Yeah.
It can do some rendering.
Yeah, and we've got that again for $399.99. Just a super deal.
And if you're interested in any of these deals, remember, you can check out the website, refreshcomputers.net. Or if you want to get your hands on some of these machines, head over to the Refresh Computers Superstore in Longwood. You've been listening to Tech Talk here on WDBO, 107.3 FM and AM 580. Hey there, and welcome back to Tech Talk here on WDBO, 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Leavitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. You can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200. And if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and leave an open mic using the WDBO app. And now, back to David and Adam for what's one of my favorite segments of the show.
It's our favorite as well.
That's right. It's definitely one of my favorites, and this is where, we call this the business spotlight, where we like to recognize businesses who have recently done business with Refresh Computers. So I'm going to let Adam, we have a big list today. Adam, I don't think we're going to have time to get to all of them, but go ahead and get started for us.
So we had NCS Network Cabling Services. They came in and purchased a 1 terabyte solid state from us. They had us upgrade that in one of their pre-existing computers, and we also did a 16 gigabyte RAM upgrade. I believe that pushed them up to 32 gigs. So they've got a pretty good system now. We've got Pinnacle Collaborations and Holdings. They came by and purchased one of our Apple MacBook Pro, one of the 13-inch laptops that we have. And they also got a 1-year extended warranty on that system.
Oh, nice. We still have a lot of those MacBooks in stock. So it's like MacBooks at Refresh Computer are kind of feast or famine. I'll admit that much right now. And right now it's a feast.
It is, yeah.
So
we've got a bunch of them, and they're really good machines, too, for the price that they're at.
They are. They're $500. They run the latest Mac OS, which is Sequoia. So they're right there at Refresh Computers for $499.99.
Yep.
Great deal.
We also had Al's window cleaning. They came by and had us disclose some information to a new purchase that they had. I believe they were jumping ship from a laptop that they kind of had on life support for a while. So
probably one they bought from us a long time ago.
Probably, but happy to get them to a newer ship with all their information.
Yeah, Big Al's been cleaning our store windows for years.
Yep, great guy.
Yeah.
We had Florida Pressure Washing Equipment come by, purchased a couple Wi-Fi upgrades for some of their computers. We have the plug-in one that's just $20. It's just a little USB plug-in, but they also purchased some of our internal Wi-Fi cards that we installed directly inside the system.
That have integrated Bluetooth and a little more robust than the USB ones.
You don't always have to worry about possibly just breaking off that USB one, because I've seen that happen before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We had Herman Singh Associates come by. They purchased one of our HP Elite Desk systems. They also had us move a bunch of their data over from their old system to that new one. We had ProPet Veterinary Services, a little bit of a mouthful there for me. They came by and just had us replace the LCD in their laptop. And that's one of the biggest repairs I see that around the store right now are LCDs and hinge repairs.
Yeah, for laptops. And typically it's going to be on the consumer grade laptops that we're replacing these on.
Yeah,
especially the hinges.
Yeah, the Dell Inspirons, the HP Pavilions, those consumer systems that you can get at the big box stores.
Yep.
They always tend to have hinge problems or
plasticky. If you pick it up on the corner, the whole thing kind of bends a little bit sometimes.
I've had one Pavilion that I went to go pick up by that corner before, and the way it flexed actually causes the drive to unplug itself because it flexes so much.
Yeah.
We had Correct Drive LLC. They came by and purchased one of our 8-port gigabit Ethernet switches from us. Get a little bit of a network set up for them. We also had Executech Business Solutions Incorporated. They came by and purchased one of our Dell Optiplex 3070 systems. I believe that was to replace one of their aged systems that was Windows 10 locked. They're on a good Windows 11 system now that'll have them for the foreseeable future.
That's right.
We also had Broughton Realty Group. They came by and purchased one of our Dell Optiplex 7460s, and if I remember correctly, that's a all-in-one system. The 7460.
The 7460 is a 24-inch all-in-one from Dell.
Yeah, and Dell they make good all-in-ones just like HP and Lenovo do. Personally, they're one of my favorites to work on. They're just accessible,
easy to work on. Look, folks, that's about all we're going to have time for today. Don't forget that free tech support hotline, 407-478-8200. Don't forget to listen to the show in its entirety if you want to, using the podcast right there at refreshcomputers.net and clicking on that podcast link. This is David Leavitt, owner and founder of Refresh Computers. I'm going to be out next week, but Adam should be here, and he'll do a fine job in my absence. Thank you, Adam.